Bright Tuty. Every student matters.
Hello dear students, welcome to another lecture. Now in our last class, we had started with the active and the passive voice. There were a lot of rules that we learned about. We learned about what was an active sentence in the first place and what was a passive sentence. So that sentence in which the subject is the doer is an active sentence, and that sentence in which the subject is the receiver of the action is a passive sentence. Then we also learned that when changing an active to passive, we change the subject of the active to the object of the passive and the object of the active to the subject of the passive. Then we learnt about the changes that will take place in the pronouns when changing from active to passive, and also the changes that will take place in the verbs when changing active to passive. Now in this class, we are going to learn about the changes or how to change an active sentence to a passive sentence when we are talking about imperative sentences. What are imperative sentences in the first place? Those sentences with the help of which you are giving an order to someone, you are giving a command to someone, you are making a request to someone. Such sentences are known as imperative sentences. So how do we change an imperative active sentence to an imperative passive sentence? Now look at the structure. Open the door, right? It changes to let the door be opened. What was my object? The door was my object. Right? In imperative sentences, there may or may not be a subject, but the object is always there. So, how do we change it? Let plus my object, which is the door, plus be and the third form of the verb open, which is opened. So, let the door be opened. Do it at once. Now here I have a subject, so let it be done at once. Alright? Or the door should be opened, it should be done at once. There are two ways in which we can change an imperative sentence to a passive sentence. So what form does it take? Let plus the object plus be and the third form of the verb. And if my imperative sentence is negative, so let not plus the object plus be plus the third form of the verb. For example, if the sentence is do not or just a second. Do not touch it. It is negative, so let not, what is my object? It be touched. Or it should not be touched. As I told you, there are two ways in which you can change it. Alright, so imperative sentences have a different form altogether when they are changed from active to passive. Let plus the object plus be and the past participle form of the noun. Okay. If supposingly your sentence is making a request, there is another form of changing that imperative sentence to passive. Help me. You are requested to help me. Come here. You are requested to come here. Sit down. You are requested to sit down. Keep quiet. You are requested to keep quiet. Don't touch it, as I told you above. There are two ways. Let not it be touched, or you are warned not to touch it. Don't shout. You are warned not to shout. Don't go there. You are warned not to go there. So these are the different ways in which you can write. Work hard. You are giving an advice, so you are advised to work hard. Get out. This is an order that you are giving. You are requested to get out. Okay? So, these were the ways in which we can change. If you are given with an object, then you will take the form of let plus the object plus be and the third form of the verb. And if the object is not given, only a verb or a phrase is given, then you will take the form of you are advised or requested or commanded or ordered and so on and so forth. Okay. Now the next case is how to change the interrogative sentences from active to passive. We've already learnt about them in our previous video, but here we have multiple examples that are going to just make us be better at this particular subtopic. Do the children play cricket? What is my subject? The children. Verb is play and cricket is the object. So, what is cricket? Singular, therefore, is cricket played by the children? I told you, if you remember, if your sentence is beginning with a helping verb in the active sentence, it will begin with a helping verb in the passive sentence also. Did your friend invite you? Your friend subject, invite is the verb and you is the object. So, were you invited by your friend? Have you finished the work? You subject, finished verb, the work object. So, has the work been finished by you? Will he give me a book? Will a book be given to me by him? Can anybody cure me? Can I be cured by anybody or without anybody? Okay, we have learned it. Okay. Who killed the snake? By whom was the snake killed? How did you do this sum? How was the sum done by you? Whom did you laugh at? Who was laughed at by you? Why did he punish you? Why were you punished by him? What do you want? What is wanted by you? When did he write this letter? When was this letter written by him? Now, as we have already noted, do or did, they do not appear in the passive form, and have, had, or any modal, can, could, may, might, or when, where, how, why, they do not change their beginning. As I told you, their position remains the same. Who is changed to by whom and who is changed to. So these are the changes that will take place when changing an interrogative sentence from an active to a passive. Okay. Now, let us look at a few examples in which we do not use by. We just discussed one example in interrogative only. Here, by anybody. Can anybody cure me? Can I be cured? We did not use by anybody here because it was not required. Similarly, we have more examples. The class elected him monitor. He was elected monitor by the class. We have not written. They chose Mr. Sharma president. Mr. Sharma was chosen president by them. Not written. They named their daughter Millie. Their daughter was named Millie by them. Not written. So these are a few cases in which even if we don't write by, this would not make any difference in the case. Now the auxiliaries, again we have discussed the changes that will take place in the auxiliaries when talking about the interrogative sentences. Now we will also take into consideration a simple sentence. Can you move this box? Can this box be moved by you? How can we ignore such a serious mistake? How can such a serious mistake be ignored? May God bless you with health. May you be blessed with health. So as we have read, the auxiliaries will always remain in its original form. They will not change when they are being told or talked about in interrogative sentences, or here we are also giving a wish. These sentences wherein you are, wishing something for somebody, such sentences are known as optative sentences. All right. Now, few more examples that we have. One should keep one's promise. Promises should be kept. The enemy has captured the city. The city has been captured. They know it. It is known to them. Who has done this? By whom has this been done? I expected to finish the work by noon. The work is expected to be finished by noon. Do you teach Rohan? Is Rohan taught by you? Now, let us look at a few examples of how to change passive to active. Now, so far we have been changing active to the passive voice. Now, let us look at a few examples on how to change passive to active. It remains the same. The object becomes the subject becomes the object. A letter was written by him. Him is the object, a letter is the subject. So, he was written, full form wrote, and what? A letter. Simple. A letter will be written by me. New subject, I. Will be written changes to shall write a letter. The lesson will be learnt by Rakesh. The lesson goes at the end, Rakesh comes at the beginning. Will be learnt changes to will learn. Was the window pane broken by him? Did he break the window pane? By him changes to he as the subject, and the window pane goes at the end as the object. Will he be helped by you? You is my object, so will you help him? By whom are you taught English? So by whom changes to who teaches you English. So you see, if you remember the rules of changing the active to the passive, then changing the other way around is quite easy for you. Before we move on to the discussion of the exercises, let us quickly recap what we have learned. First, active sentence is that in which the subject is the doer of the action, and passive sentence is that in which the subject is the receiver of the action. The first rule when changing active to passive, The subject of the active sentence becomes the object of the passive sentence, and the object of the active sentence becomes the subject of the passive sentence. When we change the subject to object, we have to add by before it. There may be cases in which by can also be retained. We are not supposed to use by in those sentences. The second rule, we always change the pronouns. If the pronoun in my active sentence is in the form of a subject, it will take the form of an object. And if the pronoun is in the object, it will take the form of a subject. There may be a few sentences in which the subject or the object is not just one word, but it is a phrase or a group of words. In such cases, the entire subject, the entire group of word, if it is the subject, will become the object, and if it is the object, it will become the subject. If we have a preposition to the next of the verb in an active sentence, that preposition will remain as it is in its position. It will not change its position. Then we also learned about how to change the interrogative sentences from active to passive. Who changes to by whom? By whom changes to whom. Then do, did, and does, they are never used in the passive sentences, and the rest of the WH family words or the helping verbs are going to be used according to the subject. We have to change the verbs from active to passive, and there are rules and the verb forms that we have learned. That is how you will be changing them. How to change imperative sentences from active to passive. Imperative sentences are those in which you give a command to somebody, you order someone, you request someone, you advise someone. If in the active sentence there is an object, then your imperative sentence in the passive will become let plus the object plus be and the third form of the verb. And if there is no object given to you, then understanding the mood of the sentence, whether the speaker is giving a is giving a command, is making a request or an order, you will change the sentence to you are requested to or you are advised to, and so on and so forth. When it comes to the usage of the modal verbs or the auxiliaries like can, may, could, should, they will always remain as it is. Alright? So now let us discuss some exercises so that what we've learned will get even better. So change the following from active to passive. I will discuss the first 5 with you and the next you can do on your own. They help me. Now always remember, dear students, whenever you are changing a sentence from active to passive, the first thing that you have to do is to divide them in subject, verb and object. And this way it will become easy for you. They is my subject, help is my verb and me is my object. So how does it change? I am helped by them, because this is the present tense that we are changing. So I am helped by them. He grows wheat in his field. So wheat is grown by him in his field. People do not take the laws seriously. The laws are not taken seriously by people. Does he know me? Am I known by him? Here is me. I change it to I, and with I we use am. We all know that. So am I known to, or am I known by him? Both are okay. What do you want? What is wanted by you? Alright? Now the next one is when we change the sentences in the present continuous tense. The boys are learning their lessons. The Their lessons are being learned by the boys. Is the peon ringing the bell? Is the bell being rung by the peon? Is the servant laying the table? Is the table being laid by the servant? Whose notebook is the teacher correcting? Whose notebook is being corrected by the teacher? Why are the children making so much noise? Why is so much noise being made by the children? Okay, now let us move on to the next. The next one now is the past continuous. No, we have the future also. The present perfect tense. You have solved the sums. The sums have been solved by you. We have spent all the money. All the money has been spent by us. Has she taken her meals? Have the meals been taken by her? How have you done it? How has it been done by you? We have not yet finished this lesson. This lesson has not yet been finished by us. Now the simple past. We refused them admission. They were refused admission by us. I forgave him his fault. His fault was forgiven by me. Who taught you English? Who was taught English? It is who, so by whom were you taught English? Where did you find this book? Where was this book found by you? Someone stole my bicycle last night. My bicycle was stolen by someone last night. Next is past continuous. The wind was blowing the clouds away. The clouds were being blown away by the wind. The chief guest was giving away the prizes. The prizes were being given away by the chief guest. We were revising our lessons. Our lessons were being revised by us. She was not solving the sums. The sums were not solved by her. Were they throwing stones at the beggar? Were the stones being thrown at the beggars by them? Next we have the past perfect tense. We had already missed the train. The train had already been missed by us. He had received your letter when I met him. Your letter had been received by him when I met him. They had never visited Sri Lanka before. Sri Lanka had never been visited by them before. Rohan had met my sister earlier also. My sister had been met by Rohan earlier also. None of them had seen a helicopter till then. The helicopter had not been seen by anyone till then. None of them changes to anyone. The next is simple future tense. The teacher will teach us a lesson. A lesson will be taught to us by teacher. People will forget it after some time. It will be forgotten by people after some time. Will your uncle pay your school fees? Will your school fees be paid by your uncle? Who will advise him? By whom will he be advised? Who will help you now? By whom will you be helped now? And the next we have future perfect tense. The enemy will have attacked the city. The city will have been attacked by the enemy. They will have closed booking by 5 p.m. The booking will have been closed by them by 5 p.m. The principal will have sent for your father. Your father will have been sent for by the principal. The farmer will not have grown paddy. Paddy will not have been grown by the farmer. They will have mowed all the grass. All the grass will have been mowed by them. Now the next question is how to change from active. I think this is the last question. Yes, this is. So changing it, these are just random sentences. You have to change them from active to passive. Switch off the lights at 10. We have an object in the sentence and this is an imperative sentence. So, let the lights be switched off at 10. Recite a poem. Let a poem be recited. Let us do this work. Let this work be done by us. Tell the children to keep quiet. Let the children be kept quiet. Don't disturb me. Let me not be disturbed. Carry out my orders. Let my orders be carried out. Do not make such a mistake again. Let not such a mistake be made again. Please help him. Let him be helped, or you are requested to help him. Listen to the instructions carefully. You are advised to listen to the instructions carefully, or let the instructions be listened carefully. Be listened carefully. So you see, dear students, this is how we are going to change our active to passive sentence. Once you people have revised everything, I'm sure it will be extremely easy for you to do the rest of the parts that I haven't discussed with you on your own with ease. So now I'm going to stop and I hope that you've understood the chapter and the concepts very well. I shall see you all now in my next lecture. Thank you.